Hey guys, and welcome back. Start by apologizing. I know it's been a while since I uploaded anything. I've got a million excuses, but you know, work and the weather and all that good stuff. But anyway, I apologize. So what we got in here today is actually my brother-in-law's mower. I don't know what kind of mower it's supposed to be. All I see is Briggs stickers all over it. It's got that little turd of a 140 that Briggs started using. Said he was cutting grass with it last weekend and it just shut off. He said you can prime it and it'll crank up and run for a few seconds and it just dies again. I went and picked it up, brought it home. I haven't touched it, so figured we'd check it out together and see what we could see. That's not a few seconds. So there you go. The primer bulb feels wonky to me. And I did notice when I primed it the first time, probably couldn't see it on camera, but we got a little fuel spray out on the deck from somewhere. So we'll start there. Let me get it up on the table and we'll see what we can see. Give me just a minute. So as you can probably tell from the intro, we had a push mower that would crank up and run for a few seconds and shut off. Now I spent the last week after work, any spare time I had out here messing with it, chasing a fuel problem. Because every other time this has happened, it's always a fuel issue, and you know, from my experience. Well, this time it was not. I've got 2 hours of video of me tearing this carburetor apart half a dozen times, replacing gaskets, clean the inside, the jets. Even watched another video, Steve's Small Engine Saloon, about problems with these carburetors where the main is so small it gets clogged up. So I took some drills and some micro bits rather, and burred out the main jet, thinking that was the problem. And every time I put it back together, same thing. Prime it, it'll crank up and run for a few seconds and shut off. So I ordered a new car, but again, I wasn't ready to give up, so I kept going through this one thinking I was missing something. That was not the case. This may be a common thing. I've never seen a video on it or of this being the problem. Obviously it's never happened to me before, so I'm going to sift through that 2 hours of footage and try to narrow it down, but just keep in mind that I literally spent an entire week chasing a fuel problem. It was not the problem. So I definitely wanted to put this video out just in case this happens to somebody else. Might save you some significant time. So bear with me. Sit through whatever footage I decide to not edit out of me fumbling around like an idiot. And at the end, I'm happy to show you what the problem was and how I fixed it. So anyway, let's get to it. So it's priming, but when I primed it the first time, it was shooting fuel back here. Let me get that cover off and see what we got. So of course I turned the camera off and I went to pull it one more time and it caught on fire. Not really sure how that happened. Or where it would have gotten a spark from. Anyway, let me get the cover off. Be right back. Alright, so here's what we got so far. That's a nasty mess. So let me get that cleaned up some so I can try to see. I think our problem is we're pulling air somewhere and I just don't know from where, so I want to try to get it cleaned up and see what we can see. So give me just a minute. I won't make you sit through that, and I'll be right back. Alright, we got to put back together. I'll give it a shot. I'm sure it wasn't that simple because nothing ever is for me. But let's give it a try before we go on the carb. Why would that have fixed it? Alright, let's go on the carb, see what we get. Alright, I went ahead and got the carb off. I blew about 15 pounds of dirt off of it, so we can kind of see what we had. Let me start by saying these little plastic carburetors, not my favorite. Alright guys, we're back where we started. So hopefully this time we got a clean squirter. Whew. She was being a little turdy. I don't think that gasket was an issue, but you know, since we changed it, we'll leave it changed. Alright, so all I gotta need all I gotta do now is get the cover back on and the pull starts, and we'll give her another shot. But you guys watch me take it off twice, so I won't make you sit through me putting it back on. Give me just a minute. Alright, she's back together. Cross your fingers, say 6 prayers, help a brother out. I could use a win. You're shitting me, right? Okay. Enough of that. New day, new attitude. I have a new carb on the way for that mower. But you're not supposed to put plastic carburetors in the ultrasonic cleaner. So, you know, for testing purposes, if you will, I want to tear this apart and put it in there and see what it does. I started thinking about it. It's pretty heavy, thick plastic, so I don't think it'll hurt it, but of course we're going to take all the rubber off of it and whatnot, but I want to try it. So I'm going to tear this thing back apart again, and I'm going to stick it in there, and in an hour or so we'll come back and take it out together and see what it looks like, see what it did. But yep, let's do that and check it out. Alright, so I had to go back to work for in-service, so I just let it cook. It's been here about 4 hours. Probably a little overkill, but it is what it is. Yeah, she's hot. So, I don't know what it did on the inside, but it still looks like a carb. Alright, I'm going to get it cleaned out and blown out and put back together, and we'll see what happens. Give me just a minute. Alright, let's give it one more try before we put the new carb on. My professional diagnosis. It's broken. Alright, so at this point, I think this is, I don't know, the 5th time that I've been in this carburetor. Like I said, I've ordered a new one. It's here actually. I just didn't want to give up on this one. I wanted to figure out why we were having this problem. I tore it apart, I cleaned everything. Started doing some research, and turns out that I wasn't doing everything. You have some jets here in this thing, and I blew carb cleaner through them and all that, but what I didn't know was that this actually comes apart. Sorry. And here, let's see if you can see them. You actually have holes all in there. Need to make sure those are clear, and these are. But you also have jets here, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's the main jet. And then in this piece we just took off, we have another jet. I had pretty good flow through most of the carb, but I did notice that this one wasn't spraying quite like I thought it should. So I have this. Alright, let's give it one last try and see what we get. Well, alright, we're done with that. New carb it is. Stand by. Alright, one last time. Brand new carb is awesome. I give up. I'm sure McDonald's is hiring somewhere. Alright, let's try it again. wonder if the coil's bad. What do you think? I checked it. It had the best spark I've ever seen on a friggin' push mower. But I wonder if it's intermittent. Coming and going. I don't know. What else could it be? Magic. Alright guys, you just saw it run, and or did you? I don't even remember. I think, yes, you did see it run. Okay, anyway, as you can tell from the beginning of the video, what I thought was the problem was not the problem. The entire time it was this, the flywheel brake. There was a lot going on with this mower. The first thing was the handle, where the other end of that cable goes. It was bent and worn and wallowed, so it wasn't pulling enough tension on the cable. Plus, I think the cable is stretched, and the assembly itself right here. It was pretty gunky and stiff and hard to pull, so I think a combination of those three, we weren't getting a full pull, so this was coming off just enough to release the spark, and you crank the motor up, and I think the vibration from the motor was working it back down onto the flywheel, and it was losing spark and shutting off. That's the only thing I know that it could be, but I got it where it loose, and now it's doing what it's supposed to do. See the gap? Before, you barely had any gap at all there when you would pull it all the way out, but again, I think we got it straight now, and it seems to be running and doing what it's supposed to do. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I wanted to include it because this never happened to me before, and I spent a ridiculous amount of time chasing a problem that wasn't the problem. So hopefully this will help somebody out. Like I said, it definitely save you some time. Just check that first, because I initially checked for spark, and this thing had the best spark that I've ever seen on a push mower. I mean, it was just bright and big and good to go, but it didn't occur to me that this might be a problem. So anyway guys, not to say that a bad carb won't cause what was going on, but in this case it didn't. So as always, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I definitely learned something in this video. Hopefully, you know, you will too. But appreciate you taking the time to stick with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.